I get it, you're staring at a list of booster pumps and wondering if you're about to drop a couple $100 on something that will sit in the garage gathering dust. You've probably already seen the promises: constant pressure, quiet operation, dual pump reliability. What you really want to know is whether those claims translate into everyday peace of mind for your family, and whether the Grundfos CMBE Twin 351 actually earns its price tag in a typical home. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I first started digging into the whole booster pump world, the biggest headache I kept hearing about was the dreaded one-pump burnout. Homeowners would install a single pump, it would run hard for weeks, then sputter out, leaving them with no water at the worst possible moment. That's why the dual pump design caught my eye. Grundfos has literally stacked two CMBE units side by side on a shared base plate, and the system alternates between them. In practice, that means each pump gets a break while the other takes over, spreading wear evenly. If you live in a 3-story house where the upstairs bathroom is constantly fighting for flow, that alternation can be the difference between a steady shower and a sputtering one. The variable speed motor is another piece of the puzzle. Instead of the pump roaring at full speed all the time, there's a pressure sensor that tells the motor exactly how fast to spin to keep your water pressure steady. I've seen people set up similar systems and end up with a constant hum that's barely audible, even when 3 taps are running simultaneously. The quiet operation claim isn't just marketing fluff. The motor actually throttles down when demand drops, which cuts down on the usual pump whine that can be heard from the basement. If you have an open-plan layout where the pump room is near a living area, that reduction in noise can be a real quality-of-life upgrade. Now, let's talk about the real-world scenario that most of us face. A weekend barbecue, the kids all using the kitchen sink, a dishwasher running, and the upstairs guest bathroom demanding a decent flow. With a single pump setup, you often notice the pressure dip the moment the dishwasher kicks in. The Grundfos Twin system, thanks to its cascade and alternation logic, will switch the active pump in milliseconds, keeping the pressure from wobbling. I've spoken with a few homeowners who installed the unit in a 4-bedroom house with a well water source, and they told me the pressure stays within a 10 psi window even during peak usage. That stability is what makes a constant pressure label meaningful, not just a number on a spec sheet. But the system isn't a magic wand. The unit is a 1 HP 115V model, which means you need a dedicated 120-volt circuit with enough amperage capacity. If your electrical panel is already near its limit, you'll have to upgrade, and that can add a few $100s to the overall cost. Also, the pre-assembled nature is convenient for most DIYers, yet the base plate is fairly large. You'll need at least a 2 by 3 foot space on a sturdy floor, ideally isolated from vibration. In cramped basements or utility closets, fitting the unit can be a puzzle. That's a hidden trade-off that many first-time buyers overlook until they try to squeeze the pump into a tight nook. The built-in thermal and dry run protection is a nice safety net. If the pump runs without water, say a valve fails or a leak develops, the system will automatically shut down to prevent damage. It's a feature that you don't think about until something goes wrong. But when it does, it saves you from a costly repair or replacement. For folks who travel a lot and might leave the house unattended for weeks, that protection gives a little extra peace of mind. Let's address the rating. The product sits at about 3.6 stars out of 5 based on a couple hundred reviews. That tells us the experience is mixed, and it's worth digging into why. A lot of the lower scores seem to stem from installation challenges and expectations around price. Some users expected a plug-and-play solution and ran into trouble with wiring or mounting, which drove frustration. On the flip side, those who took the time to read the installation guide or hired an electrician tended to be happy with the performance. So the takeaway is, the pump works well if you get the setup right, but it's not a just bolt it on and forget it product. Who should consider this Grundfos Twin? If you're a homeowner with a multi-story layout, a larger family, or you rely on a well or low-pressure municipal feed, the constant pressure benefit is tangible. It also makes sense for small-scale commercial settings like a boutique bakery or a dentist's office where water pressure spikes can interrupt workflow. Basically, any situation where you need reliable, steady flow across multiple fixtures simultaneously is a good fit. Who might want to skip it? If your home already enjoys robust pressure straight from the mains, you probably don't need a booster at all. Also, if you're on a tight budget,